Good morning, all. Sorry, there was some problem. Hope I am audible. Okay, we'll continue with our problem. We are working with a Wumpus problem where we are having a 4 by 4 celled cave, 4 by 4 celled caves, and here we have one cell having a Wumpus. So, which eats anybody enters into that cell, and we have some cells where there is infinitely deep pits are there. If somebody steps into that cell, will just vanish into the deep well. And we have some inputs coming. So if there is a pit, any cell, neighbors will have a cool breeze. So if you enter any of the neighboring cells containing a pit, you feel a breeze. So that gives an alarm that neighboring cell will contain a pit. Same way, neighboring cells of Wampus will have a stench, a very bad smell that will attract the attention of the person in the cell. So that gives an alarm that somewhere in the neighborhood there is a Wampus. Randomly selected, and the rules are simple. The first room, that is cell 11, is always safe, and anytime the agent will enter this, and once he enters he will be facing to the right. That's the condition how the game starts. Okay, then randomly some positions are made as pit, and some position will be made as a having a compass. And there is one cell which contains gold. And how do you know that you are in the cell of gold? So when you enter the cell of gold, you see glare. So when you see the glare, you understand that you are at the uh, cell where there is gold. Okay, this is one situation we are working on. So we enter here. So it is given that cell 11 is always safe. It is given that cell 11 is always safe. Cell 11 is always safe. And as we enter cell 11, what would happen is the agent doesn't smell any bad stench nor finds any breeze in this condition. So we have a lot of disturbance. I'm very sorry for that. Okay. Now, if we assume how a human can understand this, so he is facing to the right, so he doesn't sense any breeze. So he is sure that the cell 2 1 and cell 1 2 doesn't contain a pit, and he doesn't smell any bad stench. Therefore, he is sure that neither this nor this will have a wampus. So, no breeze here, therefore, no pits here, no smell here, therefore, no wampus here. So, he is pretty sure that these two cells do not have either pit or wampus. So, these two are safe. And then he gets into this room. And then once he gets into this room, he realizes there is a breeze. That means either this should have a pit. Just because we have come from here and we were sure that there was no pit, therefore either P22, there should be pit at 22 or pit at 31. Either of these two, there should be a pit. So I don't know which one is true and all. Therefore, I can't proceed any further. But one more thing I can notice here is I did not feel any smell here. Therefore, we are pretty sure that there is no bumpers here, there is no bumpers here, there is no bumpers here. So, breeze here. So, pit can be here, pit can be here. It cannot be here because we have just come from here and it was given in the precondition that the cell 1 1 is safe. Therefore, no pit here. So it can be either here or here, and no stench here. Therefore, no bumpers here, no bumpers here. So we are now sure that there is no bumpers here. So because there is no stench here, so there is no bumpers here. Okay, that's all I can make out from here. There is no bumpers here. There is no bumpers here. There cannot be any bumpers here. So I cannot do anything further. I cannot take any risk because pit can be here or here. Still, I am not clear which one. Where can be a pit? It can be here or both. And these are the only options I can proceed further. Therefore, I can't proceed. I can get back to this cell and then move to here. Once I move here, I realize that there is a stench here. When there is stench here, it means that there should be a bumpers here or bumpers here or bumpers here. And this one, we had just come, there is no bumpers, so we are sure there is no bumpers here. And from here, we had sensed that there was no stench coming here, and hence we had proved that there is no bumpers here. But still, stench is coming here. That means it should be here or here or here. Here is not possible because we have just come from here. Here is not possible because there is no stench here, and hence it should be here. So we are now claiming that Wampus is here. So it is not justified to get into this side. Anyway, what can I do? So I find stench here. So I thought Wampus should be here. If Wampus was here, then this also should be stench. Therefore, there is no Wampus was already proved. But from here, we had said that there may be a pit here. But if there was a pit here, there should be breeze here. And because there is no breeze here, this also not there. Therefore, this has become a safe one. So we move from here to here. And then what next? We can move here. You can move here. You can move here. This is already visited. There is no point in going here. You can move here. You can move here. So accidentally we moved here, and once we move here, we found that there is glitter. So we realized that this cell is having a gold. Therefore, we grab the gold, then return back, then follow our path, whichever we had used to reach here. The same path we follow, return back, and once we come here, we climb and come out of the cave with gold, and that's how we come out successfully. Done. Okay, then how should we? That's a simple story we can talk of because you hear no smell, no breeze, so these two are safe. So you came here, then you found breeze, therefore no bumpers here. You came here, no there no stench, so no bumpers, no breeze, no pit. Therefore, this side it said no bumpers, this side it said no pit, so it is safe. So we reached here, then we entered here. There is no breeze, no pit here, so all four directions are free of the what is say dangers. So you can go anyway. This is just written. This already visited. So these are two options. So accidentally we went into this option and we found the gold. Came back grabbing the gold back here. Done. So that's the human version. How do you work out the machine way? Let us see how it is done machine way. So what we need to do is we need to put some set of rules. So first thing is given cell 11 is safe. So that means it doesn't have any pit or doesn't have any bumpers. So rule 1 says, okay, let's make use of this. Okay, rule 1 says what? There is no bumpers in cell 11. Rule 2 says there is no pit in 11, because you are saying that cell 11 is safe, which means there is no bumpers in 11 and there is no pit in 11. So the what do you say uh, pattern we use is if you talk about bumpers, we use W and subscript ij, I for the this x axis, j for the y axis. So 1 1 means you are talking of this cell. This is 2 1, this is 2 2, this is 3 2, this is 2 3, and so on. Done. So this is what he is given. So once you enter that, then you say enter into 1 1, enter into the cave cell 1 1. What do you get here? Once you get into 1 1, you observe there is no breeze in 1 1, and then you observe there is no stench in 1 1. Okay. So when do you get a breeze in 1 1? So this is what is in the beginning. So when do you think breeze will be there in 1 1? 1 1 will contain breeze if there is pit here or here. So if there is pit in 1 1 or there is pit in, sorry, 1 2 and 2 1. This is first 2 1, this is 1 2. So either in 1 2 or 2 1, there should be a pit. Now, what should be the relation here? If there is breeze here, then either this or this should contain a pit. Or if there is a pit here, then there should be a breeze here. Or if there is a pit here, there should be a breeze here. If this is true, this should be true. And if this is true, this should be true. So this is a bilateral condition. Same way, the sixth one says, what do you think would happen if there is stench? If there is stench in 1 1, then there should be bumpers in 1 2, or there should be bumpers in 2 1. What do you know? You know this. Okay. So let's get from R5. What do you get? So we open this. What does it say? It says B11 means P12 or P21. This is one direction, and P12 or P21 means B11. So this is another, this is a expansion of this. Now, if you say this is true, if you say this is true, then this should be true and this should be true. Both of them should be true. And if I say this is true, then I can claim that the second part is true. that is P12 or P21, P12 or P21, means there should be breeze at 1 1. Either P12, that means pit at 1 2, then there is breeze at 1 1, or pit at 2 1, there is breeze at 1 1. Now, using the opposite of this, that is when you use complement of this, or when you negate this, what we get is this: B11 is not P12 or P21. So some basic rules, if you want to talk of, it is A, B. This means A implies B and B implies A. A implies B is equivalent to not B implies not A. A and B is true means A is true. A and B is true means B is true. Okay. If you say A implies B, and if you know that A is true, which means that B is also true. If you say A implies B, and if you say B is not true, which means A is also not true. So these are some rules we need to use to. Okay. So what does it say? From rule 5, if there is breeze at 1 1, then there should be either pit at 1 2 or pit at 2 1. So if you open this, then this is what it means. This implies this, and this implies this. This is bidirectional, therefore both implications are true simultaneously. There is an and here, and then our and operator says that this whole thing can be true only when this is true as well as this is true. So if I know that this whole thing is true, then this second part should be true. So I just consider only second part. I don't need to worry about first part. And then if I negate this, then this comes this side, this comes this side with a negation sign. So this is not B implies not this. Not P11 is already known. So we know that this is true. We know that this is true. How? This is from R3. R3 says this is true. Therefore, this must be true. So that's what we get at R7 is not P12 or P21 is true. So what is this? This you can expand using De Morgan's theorem, and it says not P12 and not P21. How do you read this? There is no pit in 1 2 and there is no pit in 2 1. Or you can use the AND operation rule and say because this whole thing is true, therefore you can claim that P12 is true, and you can claim that P21 is true. So you say no pit in cell 1 2, no pit in cell 2 1. So if you look what we had done earlier, we had come here because it was safe, and then we found there is no breeze here, therefore we understood that there is no pit here and here. And for just telling that, we had used so much of we have done so much of big circus. In that, I think now you can realize difference between a machine and a human. Human is so easily convincible. So I am here and I don't find a breeze. If there was a breeze here, the neighbor should be a pit. And because no breeze here, no pit here, no pit here. That was so simple to prove. But if you try to prove it unambiguously by a machine, then definitely you need to do this much of big circus. Done. So we have completed one part. Now we need to prove the second part. That is, let's get from R6. What R6 says? R6 says stench 1 1 doesn't contain. If you say stench is there in 1 1, then there should be wampus in 1 2, or there should be wampus in 2 1. And you this is bidirectional, so you can say stench 1 1 means wampus in 1 2 or wampus in 2 1, and wampus in 1 2 or wampus in 2 1 means there should be stench in 1 1. So this expanded, and if this is true, this whole thing should be true. For this whole thing to be true, this second part should be true. So I am just taking the second part. I am saying W12 or W21 is true, then there should be stench at this. And if you negate it, then yeah, these two sides will get exchanged with the negation sign. So we get what you can call R10. There is no stench at 1 1, which means there is no this or this. Done. So what is this? This is already proved that it is true, where it is there in R4. So this is from R4. This is true. Therefore, this whole thing must be true. This is true means I get R11, which is W12 or W21 is true, which is nothing but using De Morgan's theorem. It is not W12 and not W21. And if you use and condition, then it says both should be true simultaneously. Therefore, it says W12 is false, and it says W21 is false. So no wampus in 1 2. This says no wampus in 2 1. So therefore, what has happened? Sorry. Okay. What is that saying? R8 says, looking at R8 and R12, R8 and R12. What R8 says? No pit at 1 2, and R12 says no bumpers at R2. Therefore, we can say 1 2 is safe. Same way, R9 and R13 together will say 2 1 is safe. Done. So with all this big circus, we proved that this is safe and proved that this is safe. And because the agent is facing right, let us get into cell 2 1. So both are safe. Therefore, agent enters to 1, and once he enters there, what he sees, feels breeze and no stench. So there is breeze at 2-1 and there is no stench at 2-1. That's what he feels. So we can call this R14. No, this can be called R14, R15. Then this becomes R16, R17. R14 said 1, 2 is safe. R15 said 2, 1 is safe. So using R15, assured that 2, 1 is safe, agent enters 2, 1. Once he enters, he feels breeze. So R16 says there is breeze, and R17 says there is no stench in 2, 1. Okay. Next, what would happen if there was breeze in 2, 1? What would happen if there was breeze in 2, 1? What is 2, 1? 2, 1 is here. If there is breeze in 2, 1, then this should be a pit, or this should be a pit, or this should be a pit. So pit should be there at 1, 1, or pit should be there at 2, 2, or pit should be there at 3, 1. 1, 1. What 1, 1 said? R2 said there is no pit at 1, 1. So R2 and R18 will confirm, or anything is that anything only. So you are left with P22 or P31. So there is breeze at 2, 1, which means P22 should be true, or P31 should be true. That means 2, 2 should contain a pit, or 3, 1 should contain a pit. So this is, let us call it R19. Done? Okay. Then let's get back to the R17. It says there is no stench. So if there was stench at 2, 1, what would have happened? If there is stench at 2, 1, then there should be wampus at 1, 1, or there should be wampus at 2, 2, or there should be wampus at 3, 1. And you know that there is no wampus at 1, 1. Therefore, this gets reduced to R20. That is, there should be wampus at 2, 2, or there should be wampus at 3, 1. Done. So this is where we are, and it says there is no stench here. That means we can follow this logic. You can follow this logic, and this means S21 implies W22 or W31, and W22 or W31 implies S21. Then you can just take the second part and say W22 or W31 implies S21. And then when you negate this, this is R21. And when you negate this, you get not S21 implies not W22 and not W31. So this says that this is AND operation. Therefore, next thing you get is R22, R23. It says there is no wampus at 2, 2. And R24 says there is no wampus at 3, 1. So one part we have completed. What has happened? We have reached 2, 1, and there we realize that because there is breeze at 2-1, there should be either a pit at 2-2 or pit at 3-1. Still, I am not clear what to do, and I can't proceed further because no more safe place is left. Therefore, return back to 1-1, then go to 1-2. At 1-2, what is happening? R25. At 1-2, what is happening? You find no breeze, but you find a stench. Done. So, what do you mean by breeze at 1-2? Of 1-2, its neighbors are 1-1, 2-2, 1-3. 1-1, 2-2, 1-3 are the neighbors of 1-2. So, from this, if you say breeze at 1-2, it implies that there should be pit at 1-1 or pit at 2-2 or pit at 1-3. 1-1, there was no pit. So, from 2 R2, B12 becomes P22 or P13. Done. So if I use the this one as if you expand this by conditional into inference, then B12 infers P22 or P13, and P22 or P13 implies B21. So I can take only the second part. That's what is important to me now. Therefore, I will say P22 or P13 implies that there is breeze at 1-2. But what we know is there is no breeze at 1-2. Therefore, I want to negate this. When you negate this, this comes here with negation sign, and that becomes R28, and that is not breeze at 1-2, implies that there is no pit at 2-2 or pit at 1-3, which means, this is true. Here it is R25 says it is true. Therefore, this part has to be true. If this is true, then R29 we can say not P22 or P13 is true. So if this is, then what De Morgan's theorem says is not P22 and not P13. Both are and, which means R30 says there is no pit at 2-2, and R31 says there is no wampus at there is no pit at 1-3. So currently I am not interested in what is happening at 1-3, but yes, I am now pretty sure that there is no pit at 2-2. And somewhere back we had defined that there is no wampus at 2-2. So that is R23 and R31. So this one end, one part is over. Then from R23 and R31, I can say, R30. So there is no 1% 2-2, and there is no pit at 2-2. So both bumpers and pit are not there in 2-2. Therefore, 2-2 is a safe cell. Done. So that one part is over. We are left with one more, and we said that we found stench at 1 2. So when you say there is tench at 1 2, which then R26. So from R26, there is tench at 1 2, which means there should be pitted, bumpers at 1 1 or bumpers at 2 2 or bumpers at 1 3. And bumpers at 1 1 is not there, which we have already started. That's what we started. R1 said there is no bumpers at 1 1, and then somewhere we proved that there is no bumpers at 2 2. There is no bumpers at 2 2. Where did you prove that? So breeze 1 1. No stench at 1 1. No stench at 1 1. Not used. So no stench at 1 1 will say that there is no bumpers at 1 2 or 2 1. That's done. No stench at 1 2 or 2 1. We have checked it anywhere. We entered 2 1. No stench at this. Yeah, R23. There is no bumpers at 2 2. There is no bumpers at 2 2. This is R23. R1 said no bumpers at 1 1. R23 said there is no bumpers at 2 2. So this is not true. This is not true. Then this has to be true. Therefore, it says there should be bumpers at 1 3 is true. So we are now proved that bumpers is there in cell 1 3. And here you had already proved that. So from 2 to we are at 1 2, we can go to either 1 3 or go to 2 2. 1 3 is not safe because you have just proved that there is bumpers, and you have just proved that 2 2 is safe. So go to 2 2. And what you find at 2 2? At 2 2, what you find at 2 2? Nothing. At 2 2, there is nothing. So where we were, R31, so R32, R33, R34, okay, R35, there is no breeze in 2 2, and there is no stench in 2 2. So there is no breeze in 2 2. So you can follow this. R37 says if there should be breeze in 2 2, then there should be pit in what is that? 1 2, or there should be pit in 2 3, or there should be pit in 3 2. Okay, so 1 2 we have already proved there is no pit here. So there should be either pit here or pit here if there is breeze here. And because there is no breeze here, which implies that there is no pit in 2 3, and there is no pit in 3 2. Otherwise, there should have been breeze here. So no pit in 2 3. So this is our 30. 9, R40, no pit in 3 2. Okay, we are interested in 2 3. Let's continue. Then next one says there is no stench in 2 2. So if there was stench in 2 2, then there should be bumpers in 1 2, or there should be bumpers in 2 3, or there should be bumpers in 3 2. We know that there is no bumpers in 1 2. We have just proved somewhere back, and there should be either bumpers here or here. But we have found that there is no stench here, which means which means there is no bumpers at 2 3, and there is no bumpers at 3 2. So R41, R42 says there is no bumpers at 2 2. R43 says there is no bumpers at 3 2. This is 2 3, sorry. Okay, now this is one, this is one. Both are talking about 2 3. So looking at 2 3, that is R39 and R42, we find that there is no pit in 2 3, and there is no bumpers in 2 3, which means 2 3 is safe. So go to 2 3, and once enters into 2 3, what he finds. So this is R44, R45. Once he enters, he sees there is breeze in 2 3. R46, there is stench in 2 3. And R47, the lottery, there is glitter in 2 3. Sure, we are here because there is gold, there is glitter. Neighbor is having a bumpus, so there is stench. A neighbor is having a pit, so there is a breeze. All three are there. Therefore, we claim that we have sensed all the three, and we are not worried about other two. This is what he is interested in. So R48, there is glitter at 23, means there is gold at 2 3. What you should do? Grab gold. So that is your next action. After that, return 2 2 2. After that, return 2 1 2. After that, return 2 1 1. After that, climb out of cave, and you have won successfully. Came out with gold. So that's a game. Now, what are we doing? Now, get back to this. So, if you look at human version, let me summarize whatever is done in both ways to contrast the differences. So, it was given in the problem that there is an entry into the cave, cell 1 1, and it's also said that cell 1 1 is safe. There won't be any pit. there won't be any vampires. So you can, without any fear, enter into cell 1 1, and hence the agent enters cell 1 1 facing right. That's a condition of the game. So once he enters, he finds there is, so this is was given. So once he gets into this, he finds no breeze. Therefore, when there is no breeze, he confirms that these two cells are containing no pit. So as far as pit is concerned, these two cells are safe. And he then smells, and no stenchy smell is available. Therefore, he concludes that these two cannot contain any wampus. If there was pit in either of the two or both, there should be breeze here. Or if there was wampus in either of the two or both, there should be a stenchy smell here. None of them were there. Therefore, these two cells, which are neighboring to this cell, we can't talk of other cells because from here these are the only two cells which are neighbors. So we can say this is not having pit, this is not having wampus, so this is safe. This is not having pit, this is not having breeze, wampus, so it is safe because the agent was facing right. So we just move to this cell, and once we move here we find there is a breeze here. So which means there can be a pit here, there can be a pit here. I am not sure where it can be. But one thing, when you feel here, you don't find any stench smell. Therefore, you are 100% sure that there is no wampus here. That is for sure. Because only breeze is there, so there cannot be wampus here. There cannot be wampus here. And no need to worry about this because we have come from here. We are assured that there is no wampus here. There is no pit here. So nothing to worry about that. Then what to do further? Wampus, if a pit can be here, pit can be here. Wampus is not there, fine, but pit can be here or here. So don't want to take any chance. So we get back and then take. We know that this is still safe, so we get into this and make next trial. And once we come here, we realize that there is only stench here. That means either this or this should have a wampus. And from here we have proved that there is no wampus here. Therefore, when you feel stench here, that stench smell cannot be coming from here because if there was wampus here, this also should be smelling, but it was not smelling. Therefore, we had proved there is no wampus here. So you are getting smell here that cannot be from here. Just proved it cannot be here. Therefore, wampus should be here. So confirm. Next, what should I do? There is stench here, no wampus here, and still if you find a breeze here, then you could have said there is a pit here, but you didn't find a breeze. Therefore, pit cannot be there here. Pit cannot be there here. So therefore, from here you said pit may be here or here, and from here you said there is no pit here. Therefore, pit here has become confirmed. Okay. So there was no stench, there was no breeze here, so there is no pit here, there is no stench here, there is no wampus here. So this said no wampus here, this said no pit here. So both together confirm that this cell is safe. Now we are here, we have come here, and now it is proved that there is wampus here. Then there are only two options to move further, and we found that there is a safe space here, so we move here. Assume that there was breeze here. Then if breeze is here, then this would be a pit. There is breeze here, this can be a pit. There is a breeze here, there can be a pit. Done. So what would happen? If there was breeze here, it says there can be a pit here, and there is no smell here, therefore there cannot be wampus here. So this smell confirms there should be a wampus here, and this breeze confirms that there should be a pit here. A pit cannot be here, pit should be here only. So there is a pit here and there is a wampus here. You are here and we have not yet reached the goal. Therefore, you cannot move this side. you cannot go back. Only option left is you have to go this way. If you have to go this way, then yes, you can make use of the arrow, and that's what can be done. Okay, now in this case, there was no breeze here, so this was found safe. So we came here, then accidentally we took this left turn, and we found glitter, came out happily. So come here, no breeze, these two are no pit, no stench, these two no bumpers, so both cells are safe. So go into this because facing this side, then feel breeze, so pit here or here, no stench, therefore no bumpers here. Back here you find uh, what is that, stench here, and you already proved that there is no bumpers here. Then for getting stench here, bumper should be here, and you didn't feel breeze here, therefore there cannot be pit here as expected from this side. Then it has to be this one true. So no pit, no bumpers, safe, come out, and then accidentally turn here, you got gold, come out. Now to do same action by a machine, then you need to do all this circus. You need to do all this big circus, and then you get the thing right. So that's how propositional logic can be made use of for solving any problem. We have tried to solve this bumpers problem using our propositional logic. So there are some rules for working with propositional logic. This is a biconditional thing. This is for and operation. This is for so if and is there, both should be true. And if this is a implies b, and if you know a is true, then b is true. If a implies b and you know that b is not true, then a should also be not true. So these are some rules we have. Using these rules, we can continue solving any given problem. Only condition is it should be a preposition, and preposition is one which says there should be always, the statement should be always give an answer true or false anytime. It cannot be both true and false, it has to be true or false. But the problem is all the time getting true or false may not be always possible. So some other cases may be there. We need to look at others also. If we don't get any statements which are confirming true or false, then it is difficult to continue. But as far as possible, let us try to identify the statements which will be either true or false any given time, and hence propositional logic can be applied, or propositional calculus can be applied and get our problem solved. So that's it for now. Some more problems can be solved, but not in this version, because working this way every time looking at some physical problem will be difficult. Just to make you aware that any given physical problem can be solved through propositional calculus, we had taken this example and done this big circus. Now what is required is all this circus has to be very clearly understood. For that we take up some examples which directly work into propositional world, and then try to prove some things. So that's what we'll take up in our next class. Till then, bye, take care.